Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm Richard, and today I'm going to be watching and reacting to Higurashi GOU, episode 21. Last episode, we still have the continuing tension between Satoko and Rika, especially on Satoko's side. She's pulled off a prank that got somebody hurt, and it's not looking good. She's in her second year now, and she's already ended up in the special class that, now she has to work really hard just to get back into the regular class again. So she's definitely struggling in her school life, and she's getting more and more resentful towards Rika. But there is a little bit of a break, though. They do have a reunion that they went to where they met up with the former game club members, and they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with them. You could tell that there's still the tension between Rika and Satoko. Again, especially on Satoko's side, but they just kind of put on a face just to pretend like, oh yeah, we're still best friends and all that. But we the audience know that that's not necessarily the case. But in any case, while they're in Hinamizawa, though, Satoko rather decides to kind of go off on her own for a little bit, just explore the village and see how things have changed. And sure enough, things have changed quite a bit in Hinamizawa. The school apparently is getting closed down. Rika and Satoko's old house, that apparently, I think it was during an earthquake or a flood or something, got destroyed. So a couple different things have changed while she was away. And, you could tell she's getting very sentimental. She really misses the old days again, back when she was having fun with her friends. And she eventually makes her way to the shrine storehouse, or warehouse, whatever, where the Oshiro-sama's statue is at, and where Rika found the shard at. And when she gets there, Satoko, I think she heard a sound or something, and she goes inside the shrine, and she puts her hand on the statue, and it breaks apart, and you see this horn, and she touches the horn, and she gets transported to the I guess the fragments, the space fragments world, whatever. Basically, where Rika resides whenever she goes in between different loops. But now Satoko's here by herself, or at least initially by herself. But then we see that she has an encounter with this godlike being who has yet to introduce herself. But I'm pretty sure most of us know who exactly this is. But in any case, yeah, so let's see what happens.
久しぶりであるな、人の子よ。赤き海の星以来となるか。
The Red Sea.
我にたどり着きしその執念、褒めて使わす価値があろうぞ。
Red Sea.
何を豆鉄砲を食らったような顔をしている。ピア。
Veer? What? Yeah, exactly. What are you?
それとも特異脊髄標本 LD3105 号と呼んだ方が似合いかな。さっきから意味がわかりませんわ。
Yeah, I'm actually kind of clueless too here. What's going on?
それに大体ここはどこなんですの？西宮殿ではありませんわよね。
Well, you kind of are, I guess.
哀れなことよな。いや、悲しくさえある。あれほどに我を追い求めて那由他の時をさまよってきたというのに、ついにというこの機運に際し、そなたは我のことをすでに忘却している。
Oh, please tell.
あなたなんか知りませんわ。
Just say your name.
彼らを知るしし者はつくづくに無情であるな。まあよい、見たところそなたには願いがあるようだな。届かぬ願いに刻々と精神をすり減らしているのだろう。魂の悲鳴が聞こえてくる。
それが何だと言うんですの？
人の好みでは叶えられぬその願い、我の力を得れば必ず成就させることができるだろう。この力があれば、そなたの願望、自分が望む理想の世界に必ずやたどり着くことができる。ただし長い時間の果てにではあるがな。
そんなことできるはずありませんわ。できるというのなら今すぐ叶えてみせてくださいませ。
Don't make a deal with the devil.
我が力を貸し与えよう。
But she didn't say her name though. I mean,
そなた
it's
は
obvious who she
繰
is,
り
she,
返す
she
もの
is,
とな
but
りて願いを叶えるために時の渦を巡るのだ。
繰り返すもの？何なんですのそれは？
世界を繰り返すための引き金となるのはそなた自身の死。
死？今死とおっしゃいましたの？
だが安心するがよい。我が力は猫のように不完全なものではない。
oh,
記憶
the
の
cat.
欠損など起こらぬ。完全な力であるからな。
わかんない。わけがわかんない。
無論うまい話がただであろうはずもない。だがそなたは対価を払うことを意識する必要はない。繰り返すものとして時の渦を巡ることそのものが我が干渉に値すればそれで対価には十分だからな。
Because a witch can only die if she gets bored.
さっぱりですわ。もうここから返してくださいませ。
干渉はすでに始まっているが心地よいぞ人猫に。
ここは何が起
Oh,
こってるんですの？
oh, she's right back at.
この家は大雪で潰れたんではございませんでしたの？
She's back
昭
to
和58年。
1983. Yeah.
5年前。どうして？あ、嘘ですわよね。
Wait, I thought she had to die though. Or did she die? Or
着きましたのですよ。やっぱりここですのね。ずっと僕には内緒にしていた夢があったのです。そしてそれを里子
although
と
you
一
know,
緒
if you
に
just
叶えたい
say
のです。
no this time,
一夜学園を受験したい。そういうのでしょ？その通りなのですよ。いつか自由に村を出ることができるようになったら、今までの僕が知ることもできなかった全く新しい生活をしてみたい。もちろんそこには聡子も一緒なのです。
no, just say no this time.
二人でハイソサエティの
She's
学
not
園
gonna say
生
no.
活を送るのですよ。ミパー。ねえリカ、私たちに受験なんてまだ早いですわよ。そんなことないのですよ。せっかく山犬とかいうおかしな連中をやっつけて取り戻した平穏じゃありませんの。もっともっと楽しまなくては損でございましたよ。僕も勉強より聡子や圭一たちと遊んでいる方がずっと楽しいのです。
So she's gonna try to do everything in her power to keep Rika from
確かに
going.
部活は
Okay.
ちょっと生ぬるくなってしまいましたが、私たちで盛り上げていけばまた血湧き肉を踊る部活に戻りますわ。とても魅力的なのです。それでこそ理科ですわ。もうそんなものは必要ありませんわね。どういうことですの？僕はずっと待っていたのです。聡子が想像できないくらい長い時間憧れ続けてきたのです。自由に僕自身の意志でひなみ沢の外へ出ることができる、そんな世界を。今までの僕は夢を見る資格さえなかったのですよ。聡子も部活のみんなも大好きなのです。でも知らない生活に憧れることはそんなにいけないことなのですか？聡子が僕と一緒に夢を叶えてくれないのなら、もういいのです。僕は一人でも受験勉強を頑張るのですよ。
いらっしゃい。
So her dilemma is now to
それは卑怯ですわ。
is to keep Rika close to her. I mean, we kind of knew how it turns out.
沖宮まで行ったんですもの。一応買っただけですわ。まだやるとは言ってませんのよ。 それでも嬉し
I
い
mean,
のですよ。
in a way, she's got an advantage because she knows what to expect.
理科に諦めるつもりがないなら、勉強する時間をなくしてしまえばいいのでしょ。
Oh.
理科？びっくりしたのですよ。少し話したいことがありますの。理科はどうしてもセントルチア学園へ行くつもりなんですわね。僕だけではないのです。サトコも一緒なのですよ。正直に言いますわね。私は遠くの学校には
At least she's being honest this time.
行きたくありませんのよ。受験が不安な気持ちはわかるのです。でもそうではありませんの。私は確かに勉強が大嫌いですわ。でも未来の私はきっと理科のために、理科が喜んでくれるならと、それはもう限界以上に頑張りますわ。頑張って勉強して、そして仮に一緒に入学できたとしますわよね。だけどその時はもう限界をとっくに超えているんですの。授業についていくことは絶対にできませんのよ。私はそんな惨めな学生生活を送りたくありませんの。もし本当にそんなことになったら、僕が助けるのですよ。
Nope. Sorry. It's not how it
僕
went.
も勉強は好きではないのです。でもサトコのわからないところを僕が教えることはできるかもしれないのです。一緒に勉強することもできるのです。理科は私とは違いますの。成長した理科はきっとエレガントで魅力的だから、セントルチーアでも友達がたくさんできますわ。
How do you know that?
私がおしとやかにもできませんし、友達もきっといませんわ。お嬢様学校の校風はそもそも水が合いませんのよ。サトコ、一度でも背伸びをして入ってしまったら、卒業まで背伸びをし続けなければいけませんの。私には耐えられませんわ。嬉しかったのですよ。サトコが本心を打ち明けてくれて嬉しかったのです。
I mean, yeah, that's great. I'm glad she did it this time around,
約束する
finally.
のです。僕はサトコを一人にはしないのです。サトコが困っているときは親友の僕が必ず
I
助けるの
mean,
です。
well, obviously, we know this doesn't
僕を
work.
信じて、僕と一緒にセントルチーア学園を目指してほしいのです。本当に信じていいの？はい、約束です。仕方ありませんわね。もう一度だけ理科の言葉を信じることにしますわ。絶対に後悔させないのですよ。これで明日から勉強の日々が始まりますわね。僕たち二人ならきっと大丈夫なのですよ。ニパー
If only she could believe in that Nipa. And we're right back here again.
そんな私なんてとても素敵よ。
Back here again.
あんたの言葉を信じた私へのこれが仕打ちなんですの。そうやって私のことを物笑いにしています
I mean, this is really all in your head, but
何が困っているときは助けるだ。何が親友だ。どうされました？いえ、何でもありませんわ。これは裏切りでございますわよ。ねえ、リカ。ごきげんよう。ごきげんよう。 ごきげんよう。おはよう、リカ。サトコ。親友の私には挨拶はないんですの？それともやっぱりあれも嘘だったんですの？嘘つきリカ。おはよう、サトコ。
リカさん、こんな人に合わせる必要はありませんわ。
私はリカと話をしていますのよ。金魚の糞はお呼びではありませんの。なんと言うんでしょうか。許せませんわ。リカさんは落ちこぼれのあなたのことをいつも気にかけていたんですよ。だったら
Probably does.
なぜあの夜の約束を破ったんですの？私は嘘なんてついてないわ。あなたの成績が落ちた時、私は手を差し伸べようとした。その手を振り払ったのはサトコ、あなた自身でしょ。私はリカと一緒に乗り越えたかったんですの。リカに哀れんで欲しかったわけではございませんのよ。哀れんでなんかいないわ。あなたが勝手に卑屈になってただけでしょ。こんな話をしていても拉致が開きませんわよね。ええ、同感よ。いけませんわね。今日はこんなことを言いたかったわけではございませんのに。リカさんに何をなさるんです？リカ、こうしていると昔を思い出しますわね。サトコ。さあ、始めましょう。次はあなたの嘘には絶対に騙されませんでしたよ。サトコ、何を？それではごきげんよう。裏切り者のリカ。
Oh. Oh. What? Wow. In front of everyone. Okay. Well. Oh, they gotta have the chandelier there too. Wow. So wow, yeah. I thought last episode ended, pretty crazy. Like, of course, I was anticipating that moment, but this episode ended. The ending for this episode was it was unexpected, but I should have expected it. Because you see the big chandelier there, and it's like, I don't know, why would they focus on it so much, right? But yeah, that was that's a I was gonna say fantastic way to go, but that's, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would want to go out that way because I feel like that'd be extremely, extremely painful. But then again, they could just died instantly and wouldn't have known. But anyways, before we get into too much of that, though, I want to get back to the beginning of the episode where we saw what seems to be Featherine. She never actually introduced herself, which is kind of disappointing, but I'm sure we'll get that introduction here sooner or later. But I thought it was strange because, okay, like the last episode, she had said something like, it's been a long time since we've seen each other. And I was kind of thinking, well, maybe she means as Hanyu, assuming the whole, Featherine, Hanyu theory checks out. But then she started calling Satoko all these different names, and it's like, what? Where did that come from? So Satoko is, I'm assuming she's a witch or something equivalent to that, some other worldly being that maybe we just don't know of yet. But I'm going to assume she's a witch right now, just for until I'm proven wrong, or until she comes out and says, "Oh yeah, you're this." But anyways, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. That kind of puts a new spin on Satoko's character. I just don't know. I didn't recognize any of those names, so I was expecting, maybe Lambda Delta or something along those lines, but clearly that wasn't the case. I mean, that she could still be Lambda Delta or somebody else. It just, maybe this entity may just go by a variety of different names, and maybe Featherine was just kind of listing them all off the top of her head. So, but regardless, Satoko doesn't recognize those names, and she has no memory of Featherine or anything else like that. So, yeah, whatever entity that she is, maybe she's just locking her memories away, perhaps. I also thought it was kind of interesting too, because Featherine, assuming this is Featherine, she also mentioned that something along the lines of those who have dominion over us, yada yada yada. So I was always under the impression that Featherine was the end all be all, like in this universe at least in the Umineko or the When They Cry universe. I always thought she was the end all be all. Like, she was the grandest witch. She was the top dog. Nothing goes above her except the creator, which maybe that's who she was talking about, the creator. In fact, that's probably a safe bet. But even still, like, I just thought that was kind of strange that she would put that over, put that out there. But yeah, again, I'm kind of disappointed that we don't. I mean, for those that don't know, Featherine is just a really great character, and it's a shame that we didn't get as much time. But I guess this isn't really her story. She's just a spectator, more or less. So, as for Satoko, going back into the loops again, or going into the loop rather for the first time, as we saw in this episode, I have to say I'm a little bit more proud of her, at least in terms of like her being more upfront with her feelings with Rika and with herself. Clearly she doesn't want to go to St. Lucia. She ends up doing it anyways, but at least she tells Rika, like, look, I could probably get into that school, but it's just going to take every ounce of my energy just to keep up with things, and I just don't want to go through that. Of course, Rika, offers her hand, and it's like, yeah, we can do it, because Rika doesn't realize that Satoko's already experienced that, and she knows exactly what's going to happen. But Satoko's like, well, maybe this time things will be different, which, of course, they're not. Although, still, I think Satoko's still to blame, because, as Rika said, look, I offered my help to you. When I saw that you were struggling, I offered to help you out. And you're the one that pushed me away. So once again, Rika or Satoko is still being stubborn about her feelings. I mean, she was doing okay up until that point, and then up until she got to the school, and then I guess she went back to her old habits. Old habits die hard, as they say. So, that being said, though, I feel like I'm assuming next episode, we're going to go back to the cliffhanger that we were at a few episodes ago before we got the flashback arc. And I think we're going to... I really hope that now that Rika knows that Satoko is the one that's behind all the looping, I'm assuming Satoko is going to explain why she's doing what she's doing. And then that'll hopefully give Rika a chance to be like, look, the reason why I don't want to be in this village anymore is because I've lived in this village for 100 years, 100+ years, looping over and over again, witnessing countless murders and watching my friends die in the most gruesome ways. And I don't want to be here anymore. And so I'm sure that's going to go back and forth. Satoko is probably going to be like, well, you're the one that betrayed me. You're the one that wanted to leave, da-da-da. And the other thing, too, is I think Satoko is, I guess, I don't know if it's the syndrome or if she's just flat out crazy. Maybe both. But, she clearly can't live without somebody else. And that somebody right now is Rika. It used to be her brother, But now it's Rika, and she's become so dependent on Rika that she doesn't, and I guess her friends too, to an extent as well. But she's become so dependent on Rika that she doesn't want to do anything else. So, and I'm not going to put all the blame on Satoko because again, it's just the situation that she finds herself in. She's led a really rough life, for sure. So I'm not going to put that all on her, but you know, she has to let go and she has to move on. I mean, I don't know if that's something that somebody can teach her, or you know, I want to say that's something like normal people would learn that by themselves. I mean, just through, you know, the natural way of life. But you know, her life has just not been natural. Has not been, you know, the stereotypical type of life. So I don't know. Again, this is going to come down to a confrontation between Satoko and Rika, and I feel like Satoko is going to have to get stabbed by that shard, whether it be Rika that does it, or if Satoko somehow, like, if she somehow, you know, gets her peace of mind back and is able to think clearly again and realize what she's doing is wrong, you know, having put Rika through this. Maybe she might just stab herself with a shard, or honestly, she might even have the sword herself, because we do know that it went missing. So Satoko might just have that shard or the sword itself, and she might just end her own life too. So that's a possibility. But regardless, this is more likely going to end in tragedy, unless if they're going to try to tie this into Umineko. I can definitely see Featherine being like going to Rika, you know, on you know, separately, just, you know, those two by themselves, and Featherine's like, you know, yeah, I can end this for you if you agree to be my Miko. So I mean, that's definitely a possibility. And then, you know, maybe, I don't know, who knows what will happen there. Maybe we'll get a Umineko remake announcement. That'd be kind of nice, but. At this time, that's all just speculation. I'm just kind of, you know, looking way down the road. I of course, obviously, this is going to come down to Rika and Satoko, and they're just going to have to hash this out, either with words or, you know, physically, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see where they go from here. But in any case, I'll just leave it there, guys. What did you think of this episode? And what did you think of that ending? Let us know down in the comments below. And of course, we do have links down below for our Patreon. And if you also like our channel, please consider subscribing. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next time.